Hello, YouTube. I think I'm on here a little bit early, but that's fine. This is my first time doing this. This is Steve Z, the man who put the Z in Supercast, and I'm representing the Supercast right now on this live stream. And I'm hoping some people kind of come and join in a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit different because I'm used to like podcasting and stuff, and just the voice. And I'm hoping everybody can hear me fine. Possibly mess around my microphone if needed. But seems like it's gonna be pretty fun. So ideas today. We're going to look at some physical media. It's going to be my Criterion sale haul, and I really like this time of year. And I'm just going to pause for a little bit, let some more people come in since I did start a little bit early, just to see what happens. But yeah, tell you a little bit about the Supercast. So the Supercast is this the show my friend and I, Superfosh, do. Those are both aliases. Steve Z is not my given name. It's not what I was born with. But it's a good alias. I went by it on the radio back in the day when I was in college, and I've adopted it again as my friend and I started the Supercast. So basically, the Supercast is it's a bi-weekly show with me and Superfosh, and what we do is we talk about movies and video games and so forth. Mainly, it's movies we're in right now. We review a movie once a week or so, and it's good fun. It's one of those deals where okay, cool. Can't hear you good, bud. All right, I'm glad to hear that, man. Yeah, I'm telling everybody about the show right now. So basically, we review movies, we give our sense, and neither one of us is like a professional critic. This is just something that we do for fun. But we're hoping that more people get in on it and enjoy it. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this tonight is just to try this out, see if we can get some people and reach them out there. You guys can see me face to face. This is some makeshift shit set I made up. This is a guest bedroom with some random stuff I have joined around me. We'll get to the actual Criterion sale in a little bit. I'm going to give people a little bit more time to come in, but I hope everybody's doing well on this Friday night. I love Friday nights; they're the best. And yeah, so just hanging out. Going to look at some Blu-rays mostly. I have one 4K in the mix. And that's gonna be pretty cool to look at. But it's basically my Criterion haul from July. And some of these we probably will look at eventually on the Supercast. Speaking of which, we do have a new episode coming out. About I think I'm going to release it immediately after this stream. We have our new episode last night in Soho, the audio version on Spotify. I'm going to put it on there this probably tonight after this stream, and the video should be up on YouTube tomorrow. So that'd be cool. I'm really like the traction we're getting on YouTube, getting more views. And this stream, please like and subscribe. Really like that. It does well for the algorithm, and that's what we're fighting right now because we're people starting out on YouTube for the first time. We've been podcasting on Spotify for a little bit, but I just recently started on YouTube because I was like, "Hey, we got actually more people checking out the videos on YouTube." So that's kind of what we're changing to at this point. So we'll do a few of these from time to time. Probably not this format. I just was really excited about showing off the Blu-rays that I got back in July during the Criterion sale. So we're gonna take a look at those. So I'm gonna get into that, I guess. So before we do, though, I want to talk a little bit about physical media and why I like it. As you can see here, I have a giant piece of physical media right here. This is my Criterion Godzilla Showa period uh, Criterion Blu-rays, and they're awesome because this is something I dreamed about as a kid. Physical media is something I've always been about. I started off with my own VHS collection back in the day. I remember just going off and buying them. Started off, I remember the first ones I remember buying were like the Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and things like that. And eventually I started branching out more. I started looking for the good buys, the $5 bins, and all that stuff. And eventually I had a pretty good VHS collection. But guess what? DVD came out. Converted to DVD. I actually was that kid in college. If you went to my dorm room or you went to eventually my apartment, you could find a good DVD, had a big selection, and frequently people come over and watch movies, and it was a lot of fun. So the reason why I like physical media is not just because it's cool to have stuff on your shelf. We're actually experiencing this right now. If you've been following the news lately about HBO Max, um, yeah, streaming sources are not the most reliable. So like HBO Max is about to be gone. It's kaput's. One of the best streaming services out there, as far as I'm concerned, as far as library, as far as like the actual thing that operates it. Yeah, that's a different thing. The app is not the great, but the library is amazing. All the Warner Brothers stuff, Criterion, TCM, all that good stuff. But guess what? They've just been bought out by Discovery, or I guess there's a merger. So now they're going to go away from the great library, or at least this is what people are theorizing, to more like reality based television. And that's just very depressing. So, sections, sorry, it's going to probably go away. So that's why it's good to have the physical copy. Another good reason, I don't know if you guys heard about recently, PlayStation Network or the PlayStation Store. They had some license dispute with Studio Canal. So if you bought, let's say, Paddington or Paddington 2 or anything from Studio Canal, guess what? Those titles are gone now. They're no longer on your PlayStation. They're kaputs. I mean, you basically bought them, paid for it, but they're like, no, you're just renting them. Once that license is up, sorry, it's not yours anymore. So that's why I like physical media because it's at your house. You just pop it in the Blu-ray player or the PlayStation, whatever you'd like to watch it on, and you can watch it. Plus, they're really cool to look at, and that's what we're going to look at today. So Barnes and Noble, they run two sales a year where their Criterion editions are 50% off, which is amazing because Criterion is pretty pricey, but you're paying for a quality product. Usually, they're the best transfers, a lot of extra features, and things like that. And they usually have great packaging too. So I go and hit this thing up a lot, or past few years anyway. Now that I live closer to a Barnes and Noble, and I was really excited about my July pickups. I got 6 titles, and we're about to take a look at them. See a few more people are joining the stream, so that's really cool. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. We've been just talking about my love for physical media, but now we're gonna actually get to the nitty gritty. So I'm glad we got some more people in. So I'm gonna just go in chronological order, not by year that they came out, but by the time I bought them in the sale. Because this is really like Christmas for me. Christmas comes 2 times a year if you're a Criterion fan. So Criterion, if you're not familiar with them, they've been around for a while. I remember my first Criterion I ever bought was the Royal Tenenbaums, and I just thought it was so cool because this was a film that had awesome packaging. It had so many extra features, commentary with the director. I remember Wes Anderson was like showing you like here's the sets he made and all that stuff. And it was really cool because I was into like learning how to make movies at the time. So it was really cool seeing a studio that went through this trouble to actually show off their stuff. So here's my first one right here: Jackie Chan and Police Story and Police Story 2. This is an awesome thing that I've been wanting to add to my collection ever since I saw that. Oh, Criterion has that because I have this, but it's a crappy DVD with like 8 or 9 other Jackie Chan films, and they're all dubbed. Which, if you're like me, growing up in the '90s and the '80s, early 2000s, that's kind of what you're used to, just dubbed over movies. I didn't see a subtitled foreign film until like the 2000s when this finally started taking off. Like my man Godzilla here didn't see that until like 2004 when they came out with the 50th anniversary. But this is finally what I wanted. This great action film in the Cantonese right here. So this is beautiful. Let's take a look at the packaging. So you just look at the cover, and it's pretty nice. This is a scene where, excuse me, where he's, I don't know, you can see him. He's set up for action. He's punched through a window or something. Got a great little shot from 1980s Jackie Chan, vintage. It's great. So we open up the packaging, and what do we get? We get Jackie Chan hanging from a bus on an umbrella. And this is a set piece from the first film, Police Story, as you can see here. And it's really good film. If you've never seen this film, it's about Jackie. I think he's called something different in the Cantonese version, but I've only seen that once. But he's a super cop, if you will. He will go whatever lengths it is to catch the criminal. He puts his body on the line, as you can see here, and he basically is trying to get this guy here, this drug dealer, in prison. And to do that, he captures or he arrests the I think she's an accountant for this drug dealer, and basically has to protect her because this guy realized she's going to testify in court, so he sends it off all the mob guys to try to take him out. Luckily, Jackie is the super cop, like I said. He's going to protect her. It has one of the best fights at the end I've ever seen, as far as um, stunts. And it's like if you've ever seen like pro wrestling or something, you see these guys actually getting hurt. That's what's happening in this film. Jackie Chan's got his own stunt crew, and he basically trains them to, and he takes plenty of hits himself, to take real hits. Is basically we're not going to pull punches, as they say. We're going to punch you in the face, kick you in the face, throw you off cliffs, whatever. And that's what we see. We see people get smashed through glass, thrown off escalators. It's an amazing movie. It is just really cool to watch. So this package isn't great. You see, it's a 2 disc because you get Police Story and Police Story 2, which is the sequel. Not as good, but still pretty cool to have in there. And if you look at the insert here, which you always want to do with Criterion, you got an awesome poster of Jackie when he's doing his publicity tour, posing as the cop on the motorcycle. That's a fun thing to have in there. So there we go. That is Police Story. Came out in 1984, and I'm glad to add it to my collection. It's a pretty cool packaging. This is on Blu-ray. It's not doesn't have a 4K release yet, but still a good one to add to your collection. I was so happy to add to mine. I'll mess with this slipcover later. Don't want to waste your time. So my next one on the list is a pretty cool title. And this is one that I saw on Turner Classic Movies back when I was in college. And it just fascinated me because I've never seen a movie like this. It's partly in black and white, partly in color. The story is very philosophical. It's talking about the meaning of life and death. It's and it's very funny, but at the same time, it's very dramatic. It has a lot of big ideas in it. I've never seen a movie like this, so I was like, I got to get this, and I could never get it. It's been on my wish list for years, and I saw it on the shelves. I'm getting it. A Matter of Life and Death, starring David Niven, and this is a Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger film. These two directors got together. They made a few films, and anything you ever read about it is just like they never made movies like this. It's insane. Um, I wish I could put it in better words, but the story's about David Niven. He's a RAF pilot, Royal Air Force, and he's serving in the World War II, and he gets shot down, and he eventually dies. But right before that, he fell in love with this nurse. And while he's on his, the angel comes to pick him up to take him to heaven, and he's like, "Sorry, you can't take me. I just fell in love. I have a reason to live." And basically, the rest of the film is about him arguing about why he should stay on Earth. And he actually goes and has like a court case on in heaven. It's crazy. He like pulls the prosecutor, some guy from like the 1700s. It's a nuts movie, and it's like I said, it's in black and white, it's in color. It's great. And just to look at the packaging, I really like this packaging. It shows the really cool shot of the stairway to heaven. Yeah, this predates Led Zeppelin there, so pretty cool. Stairway to Heaven. And when you look inside, you have this great little shot of the two lovers here. And then you look here, you got their good little essay that you like to see in a lot of these Criterion movies. I love reading these. It's another really cool shot of him up in heaven, staring down at the abyss and just looking off at infinity. You have his lover here. She's a nurse, and then you have his angel here. So pretty cool. It's not the best Criterion packaging, but still pretty cool. I really love this movie. I would pay for it with anything. I'm just glad the Criterion has it because it's kind of a rare film. Like I said, I only saw it on TV once and didn't see it too much for a long time, so glad it's there. That's 2 of them. We got 4 more to go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in. Also, if you have, anything you'd like to share about any films or any, recommendations of Criterion editions to get in the future, that'd be cool. Next one on the list is another film I saw in college and couldn't find it anywhere because it's Criterion's the only people that make it. It's a rather old film from the 1940s, and this is a Depression era film. We just looked at one from World War II, and it's actually forgot to mention with Matter of Life and Death. It was actually one that was trying to make American audiences more sympathetic to the British plight, trying to get Americans to join up in World War II. So, it's a very piece of history too. So, this one's also a piece of history. Sullivan's Travels. Yeah, this one's really cool. This is Joe McCrea and Veronica Lake. Yeah, Sullivan's Travels, and this one is about. Well, I won't get into that too much yet, but this is a film that I remember watching, and it's great because the appeal to me originally was because they mentioned the movie that the director wants to make is "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" And I'm like, I've seen that movie, so I wanted to watch this film. I watched it and I loved it. I laughed my butt off, and I also thought it was a really good movie. But the problem is, I didn't see it again until the other night after I bought this one because it's kind of rare. That's what the Criterion's all about. They find rare movies, they put it out there for people to watch. And the packaging, it's a little bit different than the first edition that I saw back when I watched it, but it's still pretty cool. And it's about this guy. His name is Sullivan. He's the best director ever. Actually, he's not that great a director. He just makes very popular movies. They're comedies. People watch them. They love them, and they make people forget their problems. And the studio loves him because he makes $1 million pictures, and they're liking the bucks. Problem is, he wants to be a serious filmmaker. He wants to make an artistic film about the struggles of people and how everybody's poor and suffering. Yeah, but as he's told, "Hey, man, you're rich. You grew up rich. You don't know what it's like to suffer." So what he decides to do is he's going to go off and be a hobo. Yeah, he's going to go off, but he says with 10 cents in his pocket and just see what happens. Problem is, he keeps getting picked up by his studio people. They're falling behind in a trailer, as you can see on this picture right here. Yeah, that trailer's following him around. They're gonna give him breakfast and everything. He also meets up with this girl, and she thinks he's just some hobo, but turns out he's a big time film director, and she tries to get in his movie and all that. But they buddy around. They have the will they or won't they love relationship. It's just a fun comedy. But at the end, it does have some serious stuff to say, so don't want to spoil it for you. Packaging, you got a lot of posters from Sullivan's made up movies that they talk about, such as this one's Ants in Your Pants of 1939, which is like a musical. Hey Hey in the Hayloft, which is a risque one. Um, that's one thing they said your movies have to have sex in it. Also, this one, I don't know, so long Saranara. So it's pretty cool packaging. I like the original artwork. It's a really good essay in here about Preston Sturges, the director of the film. So this one's really good. I think everybody should check it out because it kind of talks about what the effect comedy has in times when people are suffering and really not doing that great, and they just need something to escape from their troubles. They don't want depression sailing them in the face. They want to escape it. So that's what this film's all about. And eventually, Sullivan does come to light. He's like, "I am doing good stuff. Let's make more comedies." Halfway there, 3 more to go. Next one is a film that I once had on DVD. I loaned it out to somebody that never gave it back, but I really like this film, and I wanted to get it in Blu-ray, and I wanna get it the Criterion because I've got 3 or 4 movies from this director. He's one of my favorite directors, and I wanna get this on the Criterion. This is Bottle Rocket, and if you're familiar with this movie, this is our characters. This is Dignan, Anthony, and Bob, and they're out here shooting bottle rockets. It's a great movie. These 3 guys, they're kind of, wannabe criminals, and they just go on hijinks. They rob bookstores, They stay in this hotel back here. Anthony falls in love, and it's a different sort of Wes Anderson movie because it's more based in reality than his others. I mean, it's his first film, so he's not gonna push the envelope as much, but it's still really good. It's very heartfelt, some great camera shots, great cinematography, great movie. So many funny scenes. I don't even get into it all. Another one that I'll probably review on the Supercast. We did it before a while back, but we didn't do it for real. So we're gonna do this one for real. And I love it. The chapters are divided up by sort of the songs that are playing at the time. It's pretty cool. Great packaging. I mean, all of his films when they're put on the Criterion, they just do great. And he's actually one of the only directors I know that within a month of its release, or sometimes as soon as it releases, it becomes a Criterion. But this one is showing off Digden's 75-year plan. He's got it all planned off for him, and it's also got some original artwork from Anthony. That's supposed to be his Inez riding on the horse in the starlight. So a lot of cool things. If you've seen this movie before, you know these jokes. You know how cool this is. Digden's 75-year plan. Seeing his what he's got. So really cool packaging. They went the extra mile with this one. A lot of cool extra features. You even have this drawn out version of this photograph in the film with Mr. Henry and the crew. It's great. I love this one. This is Can't wait to watch this one on Blu-ray. All right, down to two. Next one is one that I watched in high school for the first time, and it kind of threw me off the first time I watched it because I was a Peter Sellers fan, and Peter Sellers, for the most part, when I saw was a goofy sort of character actor. But this one, yeah, he's a character actor. He's playing a character, but it's more of a dramedy, if you will. A lot of the comedy is more subtle, but it's really a good movie. I really love this movie, and it's Being There. This was actually Peter Sellers' last film he ever made, and he plays this guy named Chance. And Chance is a gardener, and he lives at this house for his whole life. He grew up there. He was a gardener there. And one day, the man that was taking care of him dies, so he has to leave the house for the first time, and he's an old man at this point. And he has to figure his way around. He's living in DC and pretty rough part of town, but he makes it out. And it just so happens he gets picked up by a billionaire, one of the richest guys and most powerful guys in the US. And he thinks Chance is a genius, even though Chance is pretty much a simpleton. All he knows is what he sees on TV. That's his connection to the outside world is what he sees on TV. And yeah, this is a really good one because Peter Sellers gets to kind of like get into this role of Chance. If you're ever familiar with his films, he is, I think he's one of the best actors ever. He would just become the part. In fact, he's got a famous quote where he says, um, basically, I don't know who the real Peter Sellers is. I just didn't know the characters, and that's what he is here. He's like Chance because Chance is just a blank man. He's just a gardener. He's just very blank. But what happens in this film is everybody thinks he's a genius. He's not that smart. He just talked about gardening, and they think he's talking about the economy. They think he's talking about politics, and he becomes basically a candidate for the presidency. So it's really random. It's actually the inspiration for Forrest Gump, if you will buy that. But it's a really good movie. I love the packaging. You got DC shot, one of my favorite shots from the film. The cover, though, I'm not that huge of this. This was actually the original cover. Um, I liked it on my original DVD of it and VHS I had, but I was hoping Criterion they would kind of do more with it. But on the inside's really cool. You got this neat shot of Chance looking at the TV, and there he is again. Just a lot of Chance. He's just staring at you. Really good essay in here about Hal Ashby and Peter Sellers. Really cool. Last one, and this is the creme de la creme here. The one we've all been waiting for. This one is a good one. So on the Supercast, from time to time, we look at noir because Superfosh is a big noir fan, and this is one that he turned me on to, and it's a really great film. Um, classic noir Double Indemnity. And this one is very particular, great because this is one of the first 4Ks Criterion's ever released. And originally I was holding off on it because at the time I didn't actually own a 4K player. So I was like, why would I buy that? I actually had the Blu-ray in my hand. I was about to go purchase it. But then I read something. I read the packaging and it said here, okay, we have the 4K on here. Actually, it doesn't have the packaging now because I ripped it off. But we have the 4K in here, but we also have the regular Blu-ray. So I was like, it's a no-brainer. $5 extra. I have the Blu-ray. But once I get a 4K, guess what? I have the 4K too. So that's a no-brainer. Yes, it looks like $50. That's kind of intimidating, but remember, this is a 50% off sale. So now it's 25. So 20, the difference between 20 and 25 is pretty insignificant when you're looking at a great 4K of a great film like this. So I had to buy it. I bought it. So excited about it because look at this packaging. This is great. This is one of the best scenes from the film. You got Phyllis right here. She's smoking her cigarette, and you got our buddy back here at the back. What's his name? Oh yeah, Neff, Walter Neff back here beneath the Venetian blinds. That's just classic noir right there. It's a great cover. What this film is about is about Walter Neff. He's an insurance salesman, and he goes to sell Phyllis some insurance, some life insurance. And she gets kind of curious about this guy. She actually flirts with him a little bit. They start feeling each other out, not literally, but just talking. And then she gets this crazy idea. Tell me a little bit about this double indemnity. Actually, I think it might be him because she's interested in life insurance. She's not in a happy marriage. She wants to do away with her husband. She eventually talks him into helping her out because the great thing about double indemnity is, let's say if you die on a train or something, is a double payout for that life insurance. A lot of money. And Neff's like, it's murder, but I love this woman. She's not going to do me bad, is she? Find out. Watch the film. It's really good. Um, Billy Wilder's director. He's got several in the Criterion collection. He's a great film director. This one's really exciting. Glad I picked it up. In fact, the day I picked it up, somebody else tweeted out there and there's like, I just picked this one up, and guess what else they picked up? Police Story. So got to take advantage of that Criterion sale. But on the inside, it's great. You got Phyllis lighting up a cigarette. That's what she's all about. You got Neff over here looking out the window. It's like, oh, she just drove up. Should I let her in? A lot of cool pictures in here. Great artwork. A really good essay. This is the top of the top. I mean, as I was saying earlier, I can't wait till they release more 4Ks. I think this collection is just growing more and more. This one in particular is a 3 disc, and it's really worth the buy. It's everybody should own this. I don't. If you love film, you should have this in your collection. It's great. They're actually coming out with some others this year. I think in October, some great 4Ks. I remember seeing Night of the Living Dead. That's gonna be a good one to pick up. But also Arsenic and Old Lace, a good one. Um, oh yeah, if you didn't know, we do have a Double Indemnity episode on our Spotify. So check that out. It's actually a solo episode because I was sick that day or something. So I'm not on that one. That's just Superfosh talking about one of his favorite movies. But we'll probably redo that one later down the road just because I just love revisiting this film. It's wonderful. If you haven't tell, I've sold it already. So really good July sale for me. I enjoyed it. I'm so happy with what I collected because as I started off at the beginning, I think physical media is great, not only because it just looks cool on your shelf, but that's something nobody can take away from you. If you take care of those discs, they're going to last for years, decades, if you will. I mean, I had VHS that lasted me 20 years. So imagine a Blu-ray or 4K is going to last even longer. So really cool to have. It's not like a streaming service is just going to disappear one day. It's like, where did that movie go? So really cool. This was a lot of fun. I'm probably going to get a few more 4Ks in near months, and if this video does pretty well, I'll probably hop on here again, show those off. I already got a few extras already. Got Singing in the Rain 4K, and I almost picked up Jurassic Park the day I saw that in Walmart, or no, Target, and I was like about to buy it, and I'm like, maybe. So that'll be fun. It's a format I really like. If you've never seen a movie in that, if you have a 4K TV and you're watching a regular Blu-ray, yeah, it's great, but you're actually missing on that little extra. I'm sorry to say that. So definitely go out and get you one of those. Wait till the prices come down around November. So, but this was fun. Tune into the Supercast. Like I said, we're gonna release Last Night in Soho tonight on Spotify, and then later tomorrow we're gonna probably jump on and release the video for for the same thing. Yeah, so that'll be cool. That'll be up on YouTube. And check out our others. We have some good ones planned out in the future. Um, Last week we recorded two good ones, Singing in the Rain and Temple of Doom. So those are two that we were looking forward to. Thanks, Justin. I'm glad you're in there. Thanks, buddy. Um, yeah, so that'll be really cool to check those out when they come out next week. And also, we're recording Aliens. I'm actually about to sit down and watch that. So, talk about covers and cool physical media. This is one I got way back, and this is one of my favorite DVDs I ever had. I never upgraded to Blu-ray just because I was holding out for the 4K now. But this is one of the best DVDs I've ever owned. About to sit down and watch that. So we're gonna review that one. We're gonna record that tomorrow, and we're also gonna record a classic, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So that's gonna be great too. I really love that movie. I'm ready to talk about that. So that's what we're gonna record tomorrow night, and those will be out in about a week or so. So just thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in today, and hopefully we'll do some more of these. And hope you guys have a good Friday night. I'll see ya.